Hello there, and welcome to part 27 in the 10 Minutes at the Piano playlist. It's been a while since I did my last video in this playlist, but I still do recommend going to have a look through it if you don't know it already, because it's pretty well structured, and of course the videos are only 10-11 minutes, and I think you'll find it quite useful. This particular video is kind of what to do when you don't know what to do at the piano, but giving you an emphasis on chord types. Of course, it's very important to know different chord types. It also it reinforces your major scale mastery, which of course is paramount. So this little exercise, which I'll take you through over the next 10 minutes of your time, it's going to be very beneficial for you. You also get a bit of a nice finger workout as well. You can do this away from the piano on your internal piano if you want to, for visualization practice. Amazing, fantastic, do that if you want, please do. But this is more about you having your fingers on the piano and getting a feel for different chord types in different keys, which is very important. This is about rapid major scale changing, being able to enter a major scale and visualize it instantly, and then see the chord tones for a different chord type instantly. But it's quite difficult because you're going to do 3 chords. I'm going to explain how to do it in a moment. You're going to do 3 chords, one up, one down, and then the third one up again. Just 1 octave. Do it 2 octaves. Do it in 2 octaves if you want, but you only need to do it in 1. And but the point is, the middle one, the descending one, is going to challenge you, because so often we learn scales left to right. We learn chords left to right. The scale is numbered left to right. But finding a chord or playing a scale descending is more challenging. So I do challenge you actually to learn your major scales descending to see if you can do that. It's quite difficult if you can't do it. If you can't see it, it proves if you know the major scale well enough or not. And it's the same thing with the chords. So I will show you the 3 parts to this very simple but very potent exercise. As always, like, comments, subscriptions are welcome. Have a look at my books, pleasure, podcast, new playlists. So let's start in the key of C, and we'll just start very simply with, you're going to do this with both hands, no reason not to. Simultaneously, no reason not to. And you're going to play a major triad going up and a major triad going down and a major triad going up to begin with. And of course, by the end of the video, when you've seen the whole thing, you can personalize it in your own way. It's very, very important. Personalization is key. But the point is, how do you know what chord to do next? Well, it's not random. It's whatever the chord is. So the idea is you play a triad or a 4-note chord, which we'll do later. And whatever the top note is in the triad version, whatever the top note is, you then consider that the new master key, and then you descend in its triad from whatever the note is. So we would have to go D and B to give us the G major triad. Happens to be in first inversion, but as a water pianist, you have learned, or you will learn soon, that inversions don't really exist. The notes of a chord type are those notes everywhere on the piano. It doesn't matter which order they are played in. So if you waste your time learning chord inversions, stop immediately and realize that 1, 3, 5 and 7 and alterations thereof, and a couple of other chords as well, those tones the whole piano become. So E everywhere is the 3rd of C. E everywhere is 1 of itself. E everywhere is the raised 5th of A flat. It's the sharp 11 of B flat. It's the 4th of B. It's the 9th of D. It doesn't matter what key or chord type it is. That note, that particular note, E in this example, everywhere is that note value. So this little exercise reinforces that. So if you are one of those people that is stuck on learning chord inversions, then please stop and do this. So the idea is that you're going to go up, major triad. G is the new triad key, let's say. So you're going to go down, so there's a bit of fingering that you'll have to work out, and then the note that you end on, don't look for patterns in this, don't look for patterns, look at note values. You're going to go up to the G, see the key of G, see the notes which you need to make the chord, and then ascend on the major triad of the note that you end on, which happens to be B. It's irrelevant that it's a semitone below the starting point, it's irrelevant. You just want to highlight the note values and get used to switching between those keys instantly. Let's do it randomly in the key of F. So we're going to go C as a top note. So you go down the C, and now E is the new key. You play its major triad. That is a very, very powerful thing to be able to do. Let's do it in another key, F sharp. So C sharp is now the major triad. So we have to play its other two notes, and now F is the new one. We do that. And you can drill it if you want to, by all means. And just get used to doing that. That's good, fine. Drill it, good idea. Let's do it in the key of E. So it goes to B, so they go down the B shape, which is these notes, and then E flat becomes a new one. Play E flat's triad. So you're getting three, I'll say three, but in each hand, three shapes in random keys. So to push this to the next level, let's try it with minors. So let's start with G minor. So now we're on D, we have to go down D minor's triad. Now we're on F, we have to go up F minor's triad. So let's drill that again. It might sound nice and musical, but that's not really the point. It's about the fact that you can see the note values that you have to play, especially when you're descending. Let's do it from B flat minor, go to the F, so that's quite a big stretch down there, down to the A flat, and we play A flat minor. On again. So you're getting some really good fingering workout, and if you want to do it in different places, by all means. We've got that one already. E flat. So B flat is now the minor shape, so we need to play these notes. B flat's the minor, we play these notes. Don't look for patterns to cheat. You're looking at note values. When I'm playing that E flat minor, I am in E flat. I see E flat, it's the only thing I see. That's the minor, that's the 5. That's a dominant 7, but I don't need it because we're not doing that yet. That's the root, the minor, the 5. The root, minor, 5. Everywhere, the whole piano. So I can do that in any inversion because I know what notes I need to play. I was looking at the screen then. I know what notes I need to play because I'm in the key of E flat. I can see it everywhere. Now let's move on to the next level, which is with 4 notes. But let's start nice and easily. Let's start with a major 7 chord type, and I'll go back to C again for you. C major 7, and whatever the top note is, now you can choose. It depends, because if we say the top note's the major 7, then of course you'll just go straight back down the same key. So we want it to be different when it's going down, right? So let's say that when we go up, B has to be the dominant 7, which would force us to go down in a different key, of course, at D flat. So this is going to push you a bit further. It's so important to do this technical exercise. I can't tell you the benefit. So that now becomes the dominant 7. We switch the key instantly because we know what it's the dominant 7th of, and we therefore know that that's the 5, that's the 3, and that's the root, D flat. And now we're in D flat. We would now go up. You can choose a 3rd chord type if you want, or you can go up using the same chord type as the 1st, which is a major 7. So slowly but completely, that one would go up major 7 chord type, down dominant 7 chord type, up again major 7 chord type. It's not about how it sounds musically, it's purely theoretical and technical. So let's maybe go up to make it sound a bit more interesting as a minor major 7. So major 7, dominant 7, minor major 7. Just to get a bit more, maybe a bit more musical. That's quite nice. Let's do that from, what key haven't we done? D. You see how it doesn't matter what key I'm doing this in, because there's an instant major scale recognition. So major 7, down, up major 7, what is it? Down dominant 7, up minor major 7. So up major 7. I'm only doing it slowly so I don't make a mistake and I don't forget what the next chord is. Major 7. That now becomes the dominant 7 of E flat. Then we go up minor major 7. So I'm trying to do this while speaking. I think that came out pretty well. Let's do it in A. Let's do different chords now. Let's go up as a whole diminished. I don't know what this is going to come out as. Let's go up as a whole diminished, down as a minor 7, and up as a whole diminished again, just so I don't forget what I've said. So up is half diminished, a whole diminished from A. Then I said down as major 7, so F sharp is the major 7 of G, and then up as a whole diminished again as the 1st chord. I like the idea of the 1st and the 3rd being the same, to be honest, because it's just less to remember. and you get to practice one chord type in 2 different keys in that same trio exercise. So we're approaching 10 minutes now, so hopefully you've got the idea. So I'll do it in one more key. What haven't we done? Where haven't we started? On B, we haven't started on B. So B whole diminished, down as a major 7, so it has to be A, and then we go up again and we go on A whole diminished. Okay, fair enough. So let's do that one in E. E whole diminished. That would be the dominant 7 of E flat, and then up. So down E flat, dominant 7, and then up as the same chord as the first, whole diminished. So that is really going to force you to know your chord types, know your major scales. Otherwise, you can't do it. I think it's really a useful one to do. You can do it in one hand or 2. You can do it in octaves. You know, you can even do it if you want to. I'm just sort of improvising here, but you can even do it as a stride if you want. So let me just take F minor 6, and then going down as a major 7. So up as a minor 6 ends on the D. D is the major 7 of E flat. So we come down on E flat, and then let's go up on E flat minor 6, the same as the first chord. So minor 6, major 7, minor 6. So you could just do that as a little kind of melody. Hadn't planned to say this, but I think it's quite a fun thing to do. So you might go. I'm still playing the F6, but now I'm going to go down the major 7. Now up as E flat minor 6. I did that be on purpose as a passing tone, really. This is my kind of style. So there you go, we're playing that chord. I played a minor 7 there, but in minor 6, flat minor 6. That's the idea. You can make it your own and maybe even compose a little something over those chords. You might want to take it even further and do 5 or 6 chord types. Maybe you'd have to write them out, I agree, but that might be quite fun. I'll just do one and then I'll close the video. So you might just do, I don't know, major 7, and then go down as a whole diminished, so that's on B. So that ends on D, and then it might go up minor 7, which ends you on C. You might go down as a half diminished. So that would be in the key of C has to be the dominant 7 of D, so it's half diminished in D. So down the minus flat 5 of the diminished triad. So that takes you down to D, and you might go up as an augmented major 7, like that, which puts you on D flat. You see what I mean? You can add your own little roots. And as you can see, it can get quite complicated. So I think just doing it with triads, minor triads, major triads, 4-note chords, keeping with the 4 primary chord types, minor 7, minor major 7, major 7 and dominant 7, and maybe trying other chords, whole diminished and whatnot, so sus4 chords, augmented chords, whatnot. And I think you'll find it quite useful for the workout, the brain exercise. Hopefully you'll find that quite useful. Sorry for the extra minutes, but hopefully it was useful. As always, like to comment, subscribe is always welcome. Look at my books, my Patreon, podcast, new playlists, and I will see you in the next video. All the best, and bye for now.